Welcome to today's Explainer. We're diving straight into a story that is gripping, it's terrifying, and honestly, it starts off in a way that's going to feel way too familiar for anyone who's ever lived in a college dorm. But trust me, this one spirals into absolute chaos really fast. Let's just get right into it. Imagine you're alone in your engineering hostel at 1 a.m. Okay, if you've ever walked down a dorm hallway in the middle of the night, you know exactly what I'm talking about, right? You've got that cold, buzzing, flickering tube light. The dim glow of laptop screens spilling out from under the doors. Down the hall, someone's frantically coding, someone else is probably playing an all-nighter for an assignment they completely forgot about. It's totally mundane, just a completely normal, quiet night. But, as we're about to see, for one student, this quiet night is about to take a seriously horrifying turn.
So, here's our timeline. We're following Ravi, a fourth-year engineering student at the Indian Institute of Innovation. And man, he is having a rough day. A massive tech company called Hypotenuse Technologies visited the campus, and Ravi totally bombed his interview. He didn't make the cut. So he's crushed, but he's determined to nail the next one. He locks himself in his room 107, just drowning in empty coffee cups and whiteboard formulas. It hits 1 a.m. Outside, it's dead silent, literally the calm before the storm.
And then, thud. The silence just shatters. A huge noise echoes through the corridor right outside Ravi's door. Now, naturally, Ravi tries to rationalize it, right? He's thinking, okay, someone just had a bit too much to drink, or they tripped heading to the bathroom, normal college stuff. But then, there's a new sound. A low, guttural growl. And it doesn't sound human. Honestly, it sounds like some kind of wild animal is just roaming the halls of this academic dorm.
So, Ravi slowly cracks his door open to take a peek, and what he sees is just deeply unsettling. The hallway is completely empty, except for that annoying buzzing tube light, but down on the floor, trailing all the way toward the staircase, is a thin, dark streak. Ravi squints, looks a little closer, and realizes, no, that's not spilled coffee, it's blood. Fresh, thick, dark red blood. In the blink of an eye, we've gone from a late-night study grind to an active, grisly crime scene.
Section 2. The Common Bathroom. Following that terrifying trail of blood, Ravi suddenly hears a blood-curdling scream echoing from down the hall.
Heart-pounding, Ravi creeps toward the bathroom, and when he looks inside, his blood literally runs cold. He sees another student, absolutely covered in blood, violently attacking a first-year named Amit. But here's the kicker, the real horror. The attacker? It's Virat, Ravi's buddy, the guy he plays weekend cricket with. Virat slowly turns around and lets out this completely unnatural, animal-like roar. Ravi just nopes right out of there. He sprints back to his room, slams the door, locks the deadbolt, and grabs his phone. His hostel group chat has over 500 unread messages, just sheer panic. Bro, lock your room. People are going crazy. They're attacking everyone. The entire campus is quite literally under attack.
And just as Ravi's desperately trying to process all these frantic texts, the absolute worst-case scenario hits. The hostel's electricity completely dies. The room goes pitch black. No Wi-Fi, no cell signal. The only light left in the entire room is the faint, eerie blue glow coming from his laptop screen. And in that tiny bit of blue light, he watches a shadow move under his door. And then he hears it, a soft knock.
Whatever is standing on the other side of that door is losing patience, fast. Ravi whispers out asking who's there, but gets absolutely no response. Instead, thud, thud, thud. 3 massive aggressive hits rattle the entire doorframe. Ravi's hands are shaking so badly he can barely turn on his phone's flashlight. He shines it at the door and watches in absolute horror as the handle starts to move. Left, right, left, right. Something is actively trying to force its way in.
The tension is just through the roof at this point. The handle starts shaking violently, and then bang! A massive impact hits the door. The wood actually starts cracking under the immense pressure. And then, nothing. Complete silence. 5 seconds go by. 10, 20 seconds of just terrifying pin-drop silence. Ravi starts inching toward the door, praying that maybe, just maybe, whatever it is, got bored and walked away.
But spoiler alert, it hasn't. Crash. The door completely explodes inward, and standing right there in the doorway is his former friend, Virat. He's totally drenched in blood, his eyes are entirely vacant and dead, and he is just snarling like a beast. The creature steps into the room, and Ravi realizes right then and there, he is fighting for his life. Which brings us to our next chapter, the escape.
As Virat lunges forward, Ravi grabs his heavy study chair, smashes it right across Virat's head, and bolts out the door, fleeing into the dark shadows of the campus.
So Ravi is sneaking through the darkness toward the main gate, but he quickly realizes this is not just an isolated dorm incident. He looks ahead and sees a staggering horde of over 100 infected students. 100! Their eyes are glowing this pale, milky white, their clothes are shredded, and they are completely covered in blood. And to make matters worse, every single one of them stops, turns, and starts shuffling directly toward him. His path to the exit is 100% blocked.
The library climax. With a horde of over 100 zombies closing in, Ravi makes a desperate, frantic dash to hide inside the college library.
He throws himself behind a heavy bookshelf, crouching in the pitch black as the infected students slowly filter into the room. He's shaking, barely breathing, but after a few agonizing minutes, it seems like they're starting to shuffle out. He lets out this massive sigh of relief. He thinks he's actually survived the worst of it. But then, a single drop of blood falls from above and lands right on his cheek. Super confused, Ravi looks up. Virat is crouching on top of the bookshelf, staring straight down at him. The creature pounces. Ravi's screams echo through the aisles as the horde swarms in. And when Ravi finally opens his eyes again, they're glowing pale white. He's become a zombie too.
So that leaves us with a pretty massive question, right? Who on earth is going to stop this zombie outbreak? The prestigious Indian Institute of Innovation has basically become the Indian Institute of Zombies. What happens now? Who is left to save an entire campus full of bloodthirsty engineering students?
Well, you guys, here is the brilliant meta twist. What we just walked through together, it isn't actually just some terrifying horror story with a tragic ending for our poor guy Ravi. It's actually the hilarious plot setup for an upcoming horror comedy movie. Yep, you heard that right. This entire gripping edge-of-your-seat tale is the theatrical pitch for a brand new film dropping on May 15th.
Let's dive into the actual lore of the film, because honestly, it is incredibly clever. The true origin of this outbreak, it was a pre-placement party that went horribly, horribly wrong. Apparently, several of the college toppers, the super high-achieving students, accidentally chugged a mysterious serum that was disguised as a welcome drink. That weird concoction is exactly what turned them into monsters and sparked absolute chaos across the campus. And honestly, the best part of this movie is going to be watching the surviving students who are just regular, stressed-out college kids trying to navigate this madness and stay alive.
And if you need another reason to be hyped for this, the creative pedigree behind it is just phenomenal. This movie is penned by the exact same creators who brought us massive hits like Dindora, Daza Kabar, and Farzi. I mean, with a lineup like that, you know for a fact this is going to be a wildly successful, non-stop roller coaster of genuine jump scare horror mixed with laugh-out-loud comedy.
So, as we wrap up today's explainer, we can finally define that mysterious title. III officially stands for the Indian Institute of Zombies. This absolute cinematic madness is hitting theaters on May 15th, and based on the terrifying yet completely hilarious setup we just mapped out, it's definitely one you'll want to grab your friends for. So I'll leave you with this. What would your ultimate survival strategy be if your college dorm suddenly turned into an episode of III? Think about it, and as always, keep learning.